Hello, and welcome to another episode of Diet Coke with Capril. Now, we'll be still calling ourselves coffee, but it's like 2:30 in the afternoon, and I'm drinking a Coke. So, all right. It's that time of the year where you're gathering all your stuff for taxes. So, I wanted to touch base with you on a couple things. Number one, 1099s. They're coming. By now, you probably got them all. But you got to be patient because sometimes investment companies will request changes or extensions, and investment 1099s come a little later than income 1099. So, be patient with us. By all means, have the meeting with your accountants, and if we need to get them more information later, we can do that. Don't be in such a rush would be one of my pieces of advice. I mean, look, if you owe money, you need to file on time, okay? And hopefully you're not going to get a significant refund because, as you know, a refund is an interest-free loan that you gave to the government. And if you're going to lend money interest-free, you can lend it to me. I'll put it in the bank, earn 5%, and then give it back to you. No, I'm just kidding. But, there's a reason why we can file extensions. Now, I just want to emphasize this because information takes time to get. I know in this day and age, it should come right away. And look, as soon as we get it, well, you're getting it when we get it, and sometimes we get downloads and stuff which we can forward to you. All right, but make sure you have all your information. I've had situations where people file too soon, and a 1099 shows up, and they're like, "Dang." And then if they don't do something about it, well, guess what? They're going to get a letter from the service, probably though for not a couple of years, and they're going to want that tax. And there's probably going to be a penalty and interest on it because time has expired, all right? So, look, if you're getting busy and it's getting towards the end of the month, you can just tell your accountant, file an extension. You can file the extension. It's very simple to do. You can do it online. There's a form. But you want to get them done, but I don't want you to get too anxious to where you might rush into completing them before you have all the necessary information. All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing is what I just alluded to previously. Getting refunds, not a good thing. It's not. I would rather you owe tax come April 15th, provided, well, A, you have the money, B, there's no penalties or interest. It's just the amount that you owe, because then you hung on to your money as long as possible. But if you got $1,000 refund, you lost $50 because you could have put that $1,000 in a bank earning 5% this past year. So I want you to make sure and look at it that way. Capital gains tax is always an interesting one. If you hold an account in a non-IRA type investment, there is a lot of internal investing that goes on within your mutual funds, ETFs, etc., rebalancing. It's not recognizable when you get your monthly statements, but then lo and behold, you get a 1099. And I know sometimes that catches people off guard. Usually 1 out of every 5 years, it's a big number. I don't anticipate that being the case this past year, but it can happen. You got to make money in order to have a capital gain. But just understand that is indeed part of the process. It can be a little complex. It can be a little off-guarding, but it's part of the process that that we have to go through. Taxes are indeed complicated. All right. Last thing I want to leave you with. We are still in a period where we have the lowest tax rates of our lifetime, and I don't think that's going to last forever. I've said that many times. I don't care who the president is. I do think that at some point those rates may have to change in order to service various costs. But that doesn't mean you can't take advantage of those rates today. One of the things I've talked a lot about over the last few years, I'm just going to continue to bring it up, is the idea of converting some of your IRA money to a Roth, whereby you pay the tax now so that you don't have to pay the tax later. In some cases, it makes a lot of sense. In other cases, it doesn't make sense. It's a case-by-case basis, which means what? It means you need to reach out to me and let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's see if it makes sense. But if rates go up in the future, then converting at today's rates might actually be one of the smartest things that you can do. And even if it's money that you never use, but you leave it to your heirs, you're now going to leave your heirs something that's tax-free, which, trust me, they will like. All right, so good luck as you get through tax season. If your accountants have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to help out in any way that I can, and I hope that it's a quick, smooth process. But don't be afraid of the extension. I file an extension almost every single year, and it's just simply because I'm not looking to rush. I know what tax I owe. I pay it on time. I write a check on April 15th, but the actual filing usually takes a little bit longer for me to get all the details together. It's not the end of the world. You do what's best for you. All right? Have a good one. Bye-bye.